Your love triangle is boring. Let's fix that. Today I'm continuing my series on subverting overdone tropes with perhaps the most divisive one in romance and YA fiction, the love triangle. Bella, Edward, Jacob, Elena, Stefan, Damon. You know the setup. The protagonist must choose between love interest A, usually the safe and stable option, and love interest B, usually the dangerous, exciting one. Cue 300 pages of indecision, jealousy, and readers wanting to throw the book across the room. This trope has been done so many times that it's hard to write it in a way that doesn't blend in with all the others. But love triangles are a staple trope because they tap into something fundamentally human, the complexity of desire, choice, and competing emotions, and, when done right, deeper personal growth that I'll talk about in this video. So instead of abandoning them completely, let's talk about how to make love triangles feel fresh, nuanced, and actually meaningful in 2025. So why do love triangles keep appearing despite the collective eye-rolling? They create immediate tension and conflict without needing external threats. They represent the very real human experience of being torn between options and paths. They allow the exploration of different aspects of a character's personality and needs, and they raise emotional stakes by making personal choices feel as important as plot-driven ones. Readers aren't actually tired of love triangles. They're tired of the shallow and predictable ones that exist purely for drama rather than proper character development. So what makes most love triangles feel stale and frustrating? Here are some weak points. Two-dimensional love interests who are reduced to simple archetypes, bad boy versus good guy. A protagonist who strings along both love interests without meaningful growth or decision-making. Love interests who have no relationship with each other beyond competition. Using jealousy as the primary emotional driver without exploring it deeper. Love triangles that have an obvious winner from the start, which makes the whole journey feel pretty pointless. Love interests who exist solely to be romantic options rather than fully realized characters. And triangles that reinforce problematic ideas about possession and competition in relationships rather than exploring more complex and nuanced themes. When the trope was fresher, readers were more forgiving of these flaws. Now that we have countless love triangles across multiple mediums, new books with these weak points can easily read like a cliche. What readers reject isn't the trope itself, but these predictable and shallow executions. So how do we write a love triangle that feels fresh, emotionally resonant, and offers genuine character development? Let's explore 4 techniques. Make all 3 relationships important. The most common mistake in love triangles is focusing exclusively on the 2 romantic relationships while ignoring the third side of the triangle, the relationship between the love interests themselves. To incorporate this, you can develop a dynamic between the 2 love interests that goes beyond just rivalry, give them a shared history that complicates their feelings toward each other, make their relationship evolve alongside the romantic elements, explore how their connection changes when the protagonist enters the picture, and consider making all 3 characters deeply connected in ways beyond romance. What if Edward and Jacob were actually secret best friends before Bella came into town? Or if Jacob actually imprinted on her? That would complicate everything so much more. And her choosing Edward would incorporate the idea of choosing something other than fate. V.E. Schwab's Shades of Magic features a complex love triangle, where Kel and Rye's brotherly bond is just as significant as their romantic feelings for Lila. And this creates a true triangle rather than a simple A or B choice. You can subvert the choice paradigm. Traditional love triangles treat the setup as a binary choice the protagonist must make between 2 options. But you can completely reimagine how choice functions within your story. You can have your protagonist choose neither option, or someone else entirely. You can make the choice about something deeper than just selecting a partner. Allow the love triangle to evolve into something else entirely. Friendship, polyamory, etc. You can show how making a choice doesn't necessarily resolve the emotional journeys of the characters. Explore what happens after the choice is made, rather than treating it as an endpoint. And you can make the choice itself less important than the growth that it catalyzes. I talked about this in my Chosen One video, but N.K. Jemisin's Broken Earth trilogy features a complex triangle that evolves throughout the protagonist's life, where her choices reflect her changing understanding of herself rather than simply picking between options. Use the triangle to explore identity and growth. The most meaningful love triangles aren't about who ends up with whom, but about how relationships help characters understand themselves better. How does experiencing this triangle fundamentally change them? All of them. Not just the protagonist. You can try to show this by using each love interest to illuminate different aspects of your protagonist's identity, show how different relationships bring out different sides of your characters, make the triangle a catalyst for personal growth in all 3 characters, explore how attraction can reflect internal desires and conflicts, use the triangle to challenge characters' assumptions about themselves and what they need, or you can make the resolution or choice reflect character development rather than just romantic preference. In Sally Rooney's Normal People, the shifting relationships between the 3 main characters serve as vehicles for exploring class, power, and identity rather than simple romantic tension. And the last technique is to deconstruct power dynamics and expectations. Perhaps the most radical approach is to directly confront and subvert the problematic elements that often make love triangles feel regressive. You can examine how gender, class, race, or other social factors influence the triangle's dynamics. Challenge social assumptions about what makes a suitable partner. Explore how the triangle itself might reflect unhealthy cultural narratives about relationships. Have characters explicitly acknowledge and work through toxic elements of competitive romance. Show the consequences of treating people as prizes to be won. Or you can use the triangle to critique rather than reinforce traditional romantic narratives. Casey McQuiston's Red, White, and Royal Blue subverts traditional triangle dynamics by exploring how societal expectations and power complicate relationships beyond the romantic choice. Love triangles aren't inherently bad. They're just often poorly executed. By making all three relationships significant, subverting the choice paradigm, using triangles for identity exploration, and deconstructing power dynamics, you can create love triangles that feel fresh, meaningful, and emotionally resonant. Now, what if you want to write a love triangle that involves the protagonist and the villain, and you also want to make them equally strong characters? Lucky for you, I have videos just for that. You can click these boxes to watch. If you're working on a love story with the love triangle, comment below which of these techniques you might try, or if you're going to try another approach. And if you found this video helpful, feel free to like and subscribe to become a better writer. I post a new writing video every week. And if you want affordable digital writing workbooks to help you outline, plot, and build your novel, check out my Etsy shop via the link in the description. Until the next chapter.